All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So today we're going to work on a song that is, for me, it's the epitome of everything on 10. Like everything on 10 is going on in this song. Like the guitar is like on 10, the bass on 10, drums just hitting those things on 10. I guess there's a keyboard in there too, which technically that's not on 10, right? But you get the idea. So this is Mississippi Queen by Mountain. And of course, the guitar greatness of the great Leslie West on this song. Kick-ass rock song, right? This is from 1970, probably barely over 2 minutes long, and but just great ripping guitar tone, as you know. So we're going to go through that today. I'm going to show you the rhythm guitar greatness that happens and how those riffs are being played, and then we'll go through the 3 parts of the song for all the solos that he does too. Break those down for you, and yeah, just have some fun with it. Okay, so if this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so already, I invite you to jump down and click subscribe and ring the bell. The bell will let you know when I drop new content, which I do every week. All my videos have chapters in them, so you can jump right to the part of the lesson that you want to see and bypass what you don't. And if you're looking for other ways to support the channel, I appreciate that. There's thanks, which is like throwing a tip in the tip jar, or you can join my Patreon, where I've got chord charts and tabs for all the lessons that I do on YouTube, just like this one. Links are in the description, so check it out. All right, so man, what a great piece of rock history this is. Okay, so Leslie West. Let me talk a little bit about the tone and the equipment he was using. So it was kind of interesting. So I'm going to link a video here of an interview with him, and where he's talking about this. And I think it might have actually been a Woodstock gig, I want to say, but he's talking about they're arriving at the gig and they had these amps delivered to them, and they were opening them up out of the box. And what it was a Sunn, S-U-N-N, it was a Sunn Colliseum PA amp. So it had inputs for microphones, still 1/4-inch jacks, but it was meant for microphone PA. And he plugged his guitar into it, and it had like a master volume sort of thing. It had a volume for each one of the mic channels, and then it had an overall master volume. Anyway, so he just overdrives it, and gets this fantastic sound that we know on this song and these early records. So he's using a PA amp. Now, I don't have that, but I do have a converted PA, and I know what he's talking about. I have this little Bogan, which is a little early 60s or mid 60s, I think, little 20-ish watt kind of thing. But it does very similar thing. These PAs, when you convert them and plug guitars into them, they break up, and the overdrive that you get out of them, it's different. Like, it's, for me anyway, it's different than what you get out of guitar amps, even guitar amps that overdrive. It's just a different sound. There's a little fizz to it, and it's just very cool. So for this kind of stuff, it's epic. For like chords and quieter, clean tones, not so much. But man, if you just want to plug in to something cool, go super loud and let it rip, these PAs are just fantastic. Anyway, so that's what he's doing. He's also playing, I believe he's playing a Les Paul Jr., or maybe even a Flying V. You can see early footage of him playing. Either way, he's got P90s. He's just got a single P90 on the bridge that he's using to let that thing scream. Now, I've got it, what I should be holding is my 68 Special with those P90s, but it's actually just too loud. There's too much noise in the signal chain a little bit when I'm using those, so I'm gonna use my humbucker a little bit, and it still gets you right there. Anyway, my sound, it's right around there. So that's what I got going on. So you'll notice that sort of fizz. I hope it comes across on the YouTubes. It's just a little different than the standard guitar tone. Anywho, so the chords are E, A, and B, straight 1-4-5 rock based on E, right? And so what we're going to do coming in here is we're going to come in on the turnaround. So we're going to come in on the B on your 5 chord, down to your 4 chord, your A, and then we'll go right into our sort of verse, right? So the song kicks off with the cowbell, right? And the riff that he plays here twice is this one. Right? And it's played in this position. You could get the same notes down here, but it's not that open. And give that a really good wiggle when you hit that E. Right? All right, so that's your opening riff. You hit that twice. And then you're going to come in on your B, all right? And on these chords, you're going to start 2 frets down and slide up into them. And you're going to play power chords. So it's just your root, 5th, and maybe your octave on top of that. All right? So, and you're going to peel it down after each one. You'll hear that sort of throughout the song on all these rhythm parts. Right, so we're going to outline our B, and we're going to pull off on the A string just for a hair before we go into our A. Down to our A. Now we're going to hit, in my opinion, I hit an open string. There. You could also do, or I just like to use the open string. And you're sort of palm muting down here on your right hand side to shorten the notes that you need. Bring that one up just a quarter bend, and then we're into our E. And on those you can hit your open string, right, as you're going into those E's. So, real quick. Mississippi Queen. Right, going right into it. All right, now on these E, on your E parts, you're going to have sort of an A and a B, answer, like a call and response. This whole song is like call and response, the way he's playing his guitar, by the way. But you're going to have your chord, and then you're going to answer that chord with the riff. And the first time, I'm going to call it the A version of the answer. And then the second time, you're going to do the B answer. So all together. See how that goes, right? So the first one, open. Second one. Anyway, so great. So you run through that. You run through that 4 times, and then you come into your A. You do that A pull off again. There's a B version of that one, just like the E, just like we did, right? So back to your E. Now we're coming to our B. This is exactly like the intro now. And then to finish off the A, we're going to sting that E. So that's the only thing different. As you're coming back down on the turnaround of the A, you're going to go right to that, sting that E and your open string. Right? Then you're going to go going into your second verse. So that's the rhythm format. And then you just repeat it from that point on. during the verse, and again during the guitar solo, and then your sort of last verse. The only thing now that's different is the outro, and you already know actually what's going to happen on the outro, right? We're just going to repeat that opening riff that we did. We're going to repeat that 4 times until the song is out. And just talking about this. That's the end of the song. Now, I'm just hitting those to keep the rhythm. That's not what you're doing during the song, but you know what I mean. So that's really it on the rhythm guitar, but it's just so great. It's the sound, it's the attitude that you're playing it with, and all together just gives you that fat rock sound, right? That's driving this song. So now let's think about the lead guitar. So there's basically 3 sections of the song where you're going to hear the lead. There's the intro at the very top. There's something that he plays. Then there's a sort of a call and response solo, if you will, that's happening during the second verse. And then there's a proper guitar solo with no vocals following that. So let's break down each one of those. So the first one, the first one on the intro is happening while the rhythm guitar that we learned is playing the B. Right? That's where he's going to come in on his solo. Now the position that he's going to play this in is all the way up here, and it's based off of your major E major scale or E major pentatonic position here. When you think about your D-shaped E up there, or think about it down here. To make it easier, I'm going to roll my volume off just to illustrate the point here. So yeah, think about our D-shaped E, and what we're going to be doing is the major. We're going to be playing around in major, basically. Every part of this first solo is sort of a major feel, except the very, very last thing, which makes it great. So you think about your D-shaped E position, and you're going to do your bend over that position, but we're up here, right? Right. So let me just get into this. So we're going to start with our bend up here. I got my finger on 17 and 19 to be able to do that bend. So you're actually bending from fret 19, right? See what I mean? Like every part of that is major, except that last little pull off that he does, which is epic. And give that a good wiggle there. So. Right, except don't play it so happy and sugary like I just did. All right, so that's the first riff. Then you're going to go into your first verse. Right, and then your next part where the guitar solo comes in is happening during that second verse. So again, sort of a call and response. He's going to sing Mississippi Queen. Right, so cool, while the rhythm guitar is going on underneath. So same thing, we just did all of that up here. It's going to be the exact same sort of position and approach right down here. So the first 4 things that he does is almost identical, same riff. He alters it on the third of the 4, but he's still playing around with it, like the speed, the time in which he actually hits that first note. He keeps coming earlier and earlier, and just you're always doing something different every single time, slightly. Awesome. But anyway, so here you go. See, that one's a little different. So just each one is slightly different than the other, right? Just have fun with that, but that's what the first 4 is. Okay, now during the A, when you go to the A, he's going to play off of this E minor pentatonic. That sort of position, I believe. playing around in there. You could play it up here, but notice the tonality of the strings is a lot different. The bass frequencies start taking over, and I think it's more exaggerated with these PA heads. So I think he spends a lot of time on strings 1 and 2 during the solo. Anyway, so go into the A. Whoops. Back to your E, and now you're up here in your E minor traditional sort of blues rock pentatonic position. Right, so your next riff is, that's all, and he answers it with nice. And then we are up to on our B. That's how that closes off. So let me play all that through in context so you see how that goes. So that's the section on during the second verse. So now we actually go to the actual guitar solo, where there's no vocals going on, right? And we're going to go right back up, still the same sort of, phrasing that we opened the song with, and even that we did during the second verse. But we're right back up here in this position. So we're going to do 2 hits off of this. Off of that sort of riff position. So the first one's going to go, right, and he answers it with, right, and that's coming in after the, right, right, all right, then it comes down here again to our that sort of E minor pentatonic position down here around 7. Love that one. Notice how he's just really milking that last note on most of these. He's really just hard, just playing that thing hard. All right, now this next riff, this next part of the solo, in Mr. 12-Foot Shane's opinion, is the best part of this entire solo, if not the entire song. When I listen to this song, I listen expressly for this next riff. So I hope you enjoy this little part, because I'm going to spend a little time on it. So what you're going to do is you're going to, everything's been, that last part was in minor, by the way, right? Now we're going to flip it to major. You're going to grab the 12th fret of the B string, and you're going to bend it all the way up. You're going to do a step and a half bend, a three fret bend, right? So you're bending this note to this pitch, right? Right? Going to go all the way up. But on your way up with that bend, you're going to grab this 3rd string at the 12th fret, take it along for the ride, and you make sure that you hit that string, when you're, so I do like an up pick, like this way, and I get both of them, right? But check it out. Oh, that's so good. So if you didn't get that second note, it would sound like this. Which, okay, sounds great, but with the note, so awesome, man. Here's Stevie Ray Vaughan and so many players use that technique, and I love it. It just adds so much toughness to that. All right, so that's the lick of the solo as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so the next part of the solo is over the A, and we're going to do a traditional E minor pentatonic bend, blues rock riff here at 12. again, answer it with this. All right, so the first one. Back to our E. And we're going to go up here major. With that little minor pull off at the end. I love that. All right, so that little part at the end, we're grabbing the B note up here at 15, 17, 19, and we're just bending up a step. And bringing that down a half step and back up again. And we get out of it, bringing it all the way down, bring that bend all the way down. Again, flipping it over to major. So bringing that down. Milk that last E. And then you're on the outro of the song. 4 times to take you out. All right, well, let's play all those last solo parts all the way through just one time. All right, well, that was the greatness of Leslie West and Mountain and Mississippi Queen. So I hope you learned something new today. If you like what you saw and you haven't done so yet, please jump down and subscribe and ring the bell. The bell will let you know when I drop new content, which I'll do every single week. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this, and if there's another song you want me to take on and do another lesson, let me know what that is too. But until next week, take care, everybody.